Alright, so we're back at the barn, and after a nice 20-minute ride back, really 30, had some time to think. And we know after we get warm is when the oil light's coming on. Perhaps testing this morning wasn't long enough. And this is actually the next video, but we just got back from the lake, trying to figure out why we have an oil light again. And I'm wondering, well, let's start off with two things. So both oil pumps were replaced. There's one in the back that's your actual oil pump, and then there's one in the front that is actually your oil water separator. The inner wheel and the outer wheel was switched out on both. On the oil separator, which is in the front, it did have some scoring on the inside of that plastic piece, which is where your oil fill is at the top, and it's like $300 to replace, so I just went with it. Since we have oil pressure, we know that that's not the problem anyway, and the rear one, which is the oil pump, was fully replaced. So we also have the oil sensor, that's been replaced. We did test with the oil gauge, and that showed the right pressure, so we know that was okay. So as I was thinking on the way home, or to the barn, what could this possibly be? And as I mentioned before, we could hook up a gauge and watch it. But I started thinking, I wonder if it's the oil itself. So hold on a second. So I was wondering, maybe I don't have the right oil, or maybe it's just getting too thin. So if I look at the original oil I put in there, it is 10W40, which is what it's supposed to have, like a 5W40 awful synthetic, which is what that is. But when I went and put more oil in, I put in the 10W30. And so we have 3 quarts of 10W30 mixed in with, probably half 10W40. And I say half because this was full, but I've also taken the engine in and out 4 times, and each time you lose a little bit of oil and it spills out, blah, blah, blah. So I'm wondering if the oil is just too thin. So I think what I'm going to do is actually, the lazy part of me just wants to drain the oil and put 10W40, maybe a 5W50 in there, and see if it'll be fine. I really don't want to do that, or I actually really want to do it, but the smarter side of me is saying, okay, let's connect the gauge back up, let's run it, get it warm, and see if we have any changes in the oil pressure, and see if it won't even alarm. Well, I guess it won't alarm because I'll have the sensor out, and see if that pressure changes over 10-15 minutes. I did say I was running 10 or 15 minutes the first test, and I bet it was only 5 because I was running around out there for what I thought was 10 or 15, and I looked at my watch and it was 5. So if we let it run and get it warm, we can see if we're going to drop oil pressure. And I think that's the next step, because if it does, that means this is probably the oil, right? It gets hot, it gets thin, the viscosity changes, and that's my problem. So I think that's what we're going to do, even though I really don't want to. But that's a smart thing to do, so I'm just not out here wasting money after spending as much as I have already on this. So let's do that. Let's get set up. So I'm going to take the sensor back out, ground it out, and put the gauge in, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, so thankfully it went pretty easy. We got our gauge on right here. We have it we had it grounded out. Keeps wanting to come out. Should probably get a clip or something, maybe put that in there. But gauge is on, all that kind of good stuff. Let's check the oil. We won't be able to see it, but we'll be able to maybe tell with our paper towel test. The other thing I would say is that I did look at the engine temperature, and we've never gotten hot. I want to say I saw 94. We know that's not right, but maybe it was 194. Okay, let's go this side. Pull it nice and tight. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can. Okay, so it might even be still a little full, right? We're pushing some oil right there. So that's good. Kind of. A little full, but we haven't been blowing white smoke anyway. So now what we're going to do is we'll check this gauge out here. Let's zoom in on it. 2. Rock on. Okay, and we'll look at idle, which should be close to 20. And we'll look at, which is, right here, that red number is PSI. and then we'll get it to 6,500 RPM, which I can see on the dash, and we'll see what it is then. And then we're just gonna let it run, maybe for 5-10 minutes, let it get hot. I won't even pick it up too much. Hopefully we don't run out of gas. I may have to put some in. And we'll see if it changes from when, right now, where it's still warm, but it's not as hot as it was. It's cooled down for 30, 40 minutes. Well, at least 30, maybe 50, who knows. Anyway, it's cooled down a lot. I'm not burning my hand on the coolant, so test it out and see what it gets after 10 minutes. It's already looking a little low, right? That's at, I want to say that's at 10. A little less than 10. Should be at 20. Let's bring it up to 6,500. Got us up to 60, so put a stopwatch, we'll check it in 10. So it's been 4.5 minutes. I don't even have to update it anymore because you can see we're already below. That would be about 8 psi at idle, and if we go up to 6,500, we're at 40 now. Definitely losing oil pressure as we get warmer. So to me that means all right, I don't know if I'm gonna mute it or not. Ooh, water. Let's see. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna mute it so that I can just give you the results. So when we first started at idle, we were about 10 psi, which is still lower than it should be, but it is warm. And we were at 60 psi when we brought up to 6,500 RPM. Been 5 minutes and my psi is already below 10. I should say it was at maybe 15. We'll look at the history, but it's below 10. And when we get up to 6,500, we're at 40. So we're already losing it, and it's only been 5 minutes, and we're not even that hot yet because most of it was just idling. So certainly seems like a viscosity issue. I'm gonna drain that oil, and we're gonna put some higher viscosity in there. I'm gonna leave this guy connected to gauge, and I might see if there's some way that I can take out this guy. I mean, actually I can't take it out because I broke the clips. I'll take this guy out and put the gauge in there so I can read it while we're driving and see what happens. So next we're gonna drain it. I'm gonna get some different oil. I'm gonna look and see. I don't think 10W40. I'm gonna get something maybe a little bit more, depending on how much thicker it is. Might Google that a little bit, and then we'll take it out again and see what we got. All right, so we looked at the service manual, and it's 10W40, and for an oil change with filter, it's 4.1. Out of here we have just under 4 liters, so probably like 3.8 or so. Sorry, there you go, 3.8. So now we need to get some oil. All right, well, we're back at it again, and you guys probably were yelling at me anyway, but Rotella T6 540, and it's JASO certified. Right, we can see right here, MA2. And checked in the Pennzoil and this Castrol GTX are not JASO certified, which it needs for the supercharger, which has nothing to do with the viscosity that we're doing, except for we had the 1030. But in the manual, it does say 1040, but it's 25 years old or so. Is that right? 2005? Okay, so it's only 20 years old. it only says 10W40, but then when I was Googling and such, you know, you need a JASO certification for the wet clutch that is on the supercharger. So, biggest difference is that we have 5W40 instead of 10W30, which is probably a 50-50 mix with this 10W40. So, we're going to put 4 quarts in, which is what I took out, and we're going to run it right here and see what the pressure ends up being. And if it holds steady after 5 minutes and it gets hot, maybe 10 minutes, then we'll take it back to the lake and see what happens. All right, 4 quarts in, fire it up, see what we got. Say it's about 18. It's just that difficult and that much fun. All right. All right, so we have 15 maybe? So now we're at 5 minutes, and you can see the idle still is low. Where is this at? There it is. So it's at, shoot, that could be 5 pounds. But if I go and rev it up, we'll get up. So we've been running for, you see that? 12 minutes, 35 seconds, and it stayed pretty much the same. We got very little pressure on idle. That's still like 1 or 2 pounds. And then if I bring it up to 6,500, I'll get to 40 pounds. Holding steady there, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the sensor in. We'll see what happens. All right, so this isn't exciting, but going through all these videos, editing, and then trying to figure out what's going on. It should be at 30 psi plus at idle, and then over 60 for 4,000 to 7,000 RPM. So obviously we have some kind of problem. I'm going to pull the engine again, as much as I love that, because it's draining the oil, draining the coolant, pulling off the intake manifold, disconnecting electrical, drive shaft, jet pump, all that kind of stuff. And then, man, that is difficult. But if we have 5 pounds right now, we're supposed to have 30. So I'm wondering if that pressure regulator is not broken again. But we'll check it out. And we'll go from there. And that's going to be our next update, is the engine out and pulling that pressure regulator. See where it's at. I'm hoping you're enjoying this, because I'm not.